What's up, people? It's your boy OT and welcome to StudyBro. You're probably watching this video because you are interested in becoming a physician associate, or at least you have some questions regarding the role of a physician associate. This video, we will just be answering that basic question. In future videos, you will look at how to become one and if it's actually worth becoming one. So physician associates are medically trained generalists that work together with doctors to provide the best care for patients. Though relatively new in the UK, I think in the UK it was officially introduced in 2003. It has been well established in the USA since the 1960s. It was first put together by Dr. Eugene Stead through his knowledge of the fast tracking of medical training during the World War II, put together the first class of physician associates. I think in the United States they call them physician assistants at Duke University. This was mainly to cushion the shortage of doctors during that period, and mainly family doctors in primary care. So what he did is he took military men, US Navy Corps, who had extensive medical training in the military, put these guys together and formed the first physician associate cohort. So what do physician associates do? Physician associates take history, they examine, they form management plans, do procedures, treat long-term conditions like a regular doctor would. However, unlike traditional doctors, physician associates are dependent practitioners, meaning they are always under the supervision of a doctor. Now let me be clear. Being under the supervision of a doctor doesn't mean doc is standing behind your neck, breathing on you like Darth Vader. That is not the case. What that means is that though you autonomously take care of the patient is ultimately the responsibility of the doctor, and as such, the doctor has the final say with regards to the management and the care of the patient. In short, the patient has been delegated to you, giving you a competence to perform certain tasks, but the ultimate say is that of the doctor. What can't we do? Currently, we cannot prescribe or other ionizing radiation. As regards to prescription, it's not a major drawback. I think depending on the setting in which you find yourself, be it primary care or secondary care. In primary care, it's not much of a problem because your supervisor, who happens to be the GP, really has nowhere to go.
I will find you.
So it's easy for you to just see the patient, recommend a certain drug, go knock on the GP's door, let the GP prescribe. But it can be a bit annoying at times in both situations. So fam, man just needs an naproxen, right? I think I know this, but no, you have to wait to get the signature of the GP to get things moving. So it can be a bit annoying, but it's not much of a problem. However, in secondary care, if your supervisor is present, no problem. You go to supervisor, man signs the prescription for you, happy days. On the other hand, if your supervisor is not present, it can be a bit daunting at times. That is because prescribing a medication is not just you simply putting your signature and fancy drug name. It implies that the person prescribing, having taken into consideration the context at hand, the patient's medical records, and having seen the patient, weighing the pros and cons of the medication, can justify on medical grounds that this drug is the best course of action for the patient. That is a mouthful, but you can understand why someone other than your supervisor, who knows how competent you are and trusts your medical judgment, might be apprehensive in putting down their signature. Can't really blame them. This is the NHS. Protect yourself. But as one gets more established in the department and people know you trust your medical judgment, this becomes just a minor setback and people will happily sign it because they know you. But look at the bright side. With the upcoming regulation by the GMC, I believe most of these problems will be ironed out. We can always look at our brothers in the United States to see what the future holds. It's just that with the unforgiving hands of the COVID, things have slowed down a bit. But I believe when things start moving again, these problems will be dealt with. The future is bright. Because physician associates are trained to the medical model to become generalists, they are quite able to adapt and work in multiple specialties. Emergency medicine, acute medicine, geriatric medicine, gastro, neuro, pediatrics, orthopedics, name it, you can work there. You can work in general surgery, plastics, you can work wherever you want. And I think this is one of the best aspects of being a physician associate, that lateral mobility and not being constrained to just one post. However, being able to jump ships doesn't mean you are going to go to a different department and call the shot. That is not the case. You are always limited by the scope of practice. Let's take surgery for example. Being in the theater doesn't mean you are going to perform any surgery. Probably be a first assist, help the surgeon hold this limb, hold that limb, do some minor suturing procedures, but you are not a surgeon. You're not qualified to be out here cutting people up, trying to, figure out everything. It might be nice if you were trained. It all depends on how willing your supervisor in question to train you to perform certain tasks. You might be trained to do other more complex procedures once your supervisor, having trained you, finds you competent in performing such tasks. A doctor from the UK can say, I'm going to the US, I'm going to Canada and work, and they can do so. PAs currently trained in the UK cannot work outside the UK. You cannot go to the US and be a physician associate there. You cannot go to Canada and be a physician associate there. I don't know if with a GMC regulation and having proper statutory regulations, this will make any changes, but as it is right now, you can only work in the United Kingdom. Unlike our medical colleagues, there is not a clear path. In medicine, you're a medical student, you graduate, foundation years, core training, register, consultant, eventually. In physician associate, there is currently no such path of career progression. However, as one gains more experience in a given department, a given specialty, of course, their knowledge also grows, they will be taking on more responsibility. So we can call that lateral progression. There is no vertical progression, but perhaps when the GMC does regulate it, there could be or there could not be. I don't know. Only time will tell. I think it would be nice to have a certain kind of distinction because I'm a new PA, right? And there are PAs who have been working for 7 years, 8 years. They've put in their work. They are more experienced than myself. They know their stuff. I think there should be a distinction. New PA, maybe they should call us junior PAs and then call them senior PA because you cannot compare a newly qualified PA to someone who has been practicing for 7 years. The wealth of knowledge they have is different. But I think eventually these kind of things will come into place. You think it matters, you don't think it matters, let me know in the comment section. So this is just a brief overview of what physician associates are, where we come from, what we do, where we can work, and our current limitations. And in future videos, you'll see how to become a physician associate. If you like this type of stuff, let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. It's your boy OT, and salute.